So hi guys, thank you for our thank you for attending our small session. Today our session is not going to be long. So then proceed. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, all of you. And for those who are joining, most of you here I can see are you've been attending our session, so it's a bit easy for you. For some of you guys, you're doing hackathons. Some of you are doing external hackathons. Yeah, some of you are experienced devs. So today we're gonna talk about tokens, and this is a very wide, very wide this is a very wide topic because we are gonna just start with the simplest overview today, but then as we continue we're gonna dive more deeper and deeper. So tokens are a bit it's a bit of a sensitive topic. So today we're just gonna do basic solidity. We're doing solidity because we promised you guys that we're gonna do a solidity session late last year or around December, but most of you guys had traveled, so we couldn't do it. But we're just gonna do a session with solidity. Alternatively, we're also gonna do other sessions with Motoko, Rust, and I think before, maybe just for some of you guys who don't know, so if you're building on the internet computer, we are currently using these 5 languages. There were 4, but late last year, through Bitfinity, Solidity emerged. So there's Motoko, there's Solidity, there's Rust, there's TypeScript, and there's Python. We can build tokens with all of these languages. We'll just be choosing guess we'll be going with the easiest. So as we continue these sessions, it's gonna get a bit tougher and tougher, but I guess don't worry, we're all here to learn. So today we're gonna do Solidity, and then probably from next week, or okay, based on the demand, we can still continue Solidity, but then we'll see how it goes, how you guys grasp, because it also depends with you guys. You guys are also learners, and for us, our work is also to get an overview if you have understood. So once we do Solidity, we can do Motoko, because most people have been requesting about more Motoko. So we can just create tokens with Motoko, maybe Bitcoin tokens, and then also Rust. And yeah, the most common token languages that I've seen most developers use in the ICP ecosystem are the Motoko, Solidity, and Rust. TypeScript, you can also create one, and Python you can also create. It doesn't limit you, but I think the Motoko, Solidity, and Rust it's a bit easier. Yeah. So first off, let me kick off. Maybe if you've ever heard of tokens, a basic overview. Let me first share this link on the chat, so you can just follow through with me. Yeah. So first off, okay, this photo it's a bit borrowed, so probably you saw it maybe in Valora or something. But yeah, I think everyone's synced with this week. Let's talk about tokens. We're not the only ones who are talking about tokens. Also, I guess other blockchains are also talking about tokens this week, because everyone is okay. Everyone in the cryptocurrency market is waiting for something that's called a bull run. A bull run is basically last year was a bit hectic because the market was a bit very bad, and some of these blockchain companies, for them to run, they're always dependent on the how the market goes, because how the market goes will depend how your funding is. Yeah. So one or another, it matters for us on the blockchain side. So even if we say that we want to rule out the bear market or the bull market, cryptocurrency is still part of blockchain. So today we are gonna dive a bit into the cryptocurrency aspect, but also now on the developer aspect. So a token is basically a digital unit on a blockchain that represents an asset, an access right, or a specific utility. Tokens are created and managed on blockchain platforms and can vary in function from representing virtual goods to providing governance rights. So last week when we were finishing the session, we asked you guys what's the name of the token that you guys want us to list in this week's session. Most of you guys said I guess Love Coin, those Worldwide, those Wonder Coin, there was Bytebucks, there was, and then we squared it down to Jabba Coin versus Zakayo Coin, I guess. Which is a bit funny, but at least we were just trying we're just trying to show you guys that you guys can also create your own tokens, just the way all these tokens are listed on the market. So those are, yeah, I can see Frederick says memes. So yeah, so you can create your own meme coin. It just depends with how now you're good at manipulating the market. So okay, most people who do meme coins are always short. They're always like, let me make money quickly and then I just chuck from this race, which is always very, very, it's hard because one or another you still have to spend your own money and also convince investors to maybe particularly like the way I remember one coin that or one token that arose, and then what we did was we just went to social media and created dummy accounts about it. Was Shiba Inu. Some of you guys know Shiba Inu. I think I also took part in the Shiba Inu wave. We created a dummy account on Twitter. I called myself Shiba Wave, and then and then we just the token was just a meme coin, so everyone was just talking about it. So all we did was just do a hashtag, and that's how people ended up buying it. So even you as a developer, you can create a meme coin, but I won't really propose you create one because you're looking for something that is long term. You need something that will feed you long term. Most of these meme coins, they just short term and then they go. So there are different types of of, of tokens. So in of course in cryptocurrency, token is a digital unit of value on a blockchain. It can represent ownership of decentralized application, digital assets, real-world assets, access rights, specific functionality, and much more. If it has value, it can have a token. So tokens are, picture it as anything. Anything can be a token. It just depends with how you make it to be. Most of you guys are in universities. You can create your own, like for example, let's say ZTech. You can say we are creating ZTech coin, and for you to create ZTech coin, you need to have people who will embrace ZTech coin. So for the whole school, okay, I'm just using ZTech just for example, but let's say for the whole school. So let's say if the whole of ZTech says that, you know what, for us to vote on what is gonna be happening in the school, everyone will need to have a ZTech token or a ZTech coin. So everyone gets a piece of ZTech coin, one or another, maybe through earning or through doing some sort of stuff, and then you use that one ZTech coin as the whole global ZTech coin for the whole governance system of ZTech. So that's how ZTech has decided to do it. So any token can be anything. It can be an asset, it can be, it can represent your car. You say that this car is insured, and this car is insured, and we are calling this car this and this particular, we're giving it this particular token. This is how it's gonna be governed. So a token is basically anything. So in the past, we've relied on institutions like banks or governments to keep detailed records when value is transferred. When you transfer or sell a stock, you do it through a bank. when you transfer ownership of a vehicle or real estate, you do so with government records. So when that value is held on a blockchain, instead, tokens are the units that actually represent it. So yeah, so a token can be backed by, like for example, stable by let's say I think gold. That's why we have the USDC, USDT, and all these tokens that are emerging, the stable coins that even us developers are actually creating. So imagine having a key to a vast digital kingdom. So we have different types of tokens. First off, we have utility tokens. So utility tokens are they they provide access to services or features in a project's ecosystem. They're the gateway to exciting possibilities in dApps and beyond. Um, as much as we have utility tokens, we also have security tokens. And they are like security tokens are like digital stocks or bonds. I'm gonna go in the cryptocurrency aspect a bit, but security tokens are always very sensitive because they represent ownership in assets like real estate or earnings like dividends and are subject to regulation, just like traditional securities. So so that's just a basic overview of what a token is. So internet computer has its own type of token. Most of you guys, when you go and search when you go and search when you just go here market cap, for example, I guess since you're in ICP, you're also a holder. So like for example, I just clicked here on coin market cap. So coin market cap tells me that this is our internet computer token. It's called ICP. And when you check out this particular token, you'll have to justify if utility token or or if it's a governance token or if it's a security type of token. So for example here, okay, don't mind the dollars or sound. This is just a of how ICP is. I guess it's today to like $9 today. It's at 11.15, and that's how we all get to participate in the blockchain space, as much as we are developers, or we are people who will be building these dApps. We also want to every one way or another. Let me switch off my camera. Okay, I know that there's some of you here that sometimes you're always on these charts, like okay, you're like, okay, today ICP's price is this, tomorrow's ICP price is that. So that means you're following that particular token. It doesn't have to be internet computer. Just saying internet computer because we are all ICP right now. But you can also be following a smaller token like this, like the most common one, the Bitcoin. You have the Ethereum, the ones that get to lead the market. So so ICP, let's now go back to ICP as a token itself. So ICP is a utility token. Yeah. So ICP is a utility token. So when you're talking tokens, there's a whole wide, that's why I'm saying this topic is a bit wide, because some of you guys here are at least tokenomics and everything. But for some of you who don't know tokens, we just outlined what tokens are. But now when you're coming to tokenomics of internet computer, first of all, ICP is a utility token. We said that we have different types of tokens. We have the governance tokens, we have the security tokens, can have various types of token, but ICP in particular is a utility token. So the internet computer makes use of a utility token called ICP. And that's why this token, the one we were seeing it here on the coin market cap, okay, I closed it. Okay, it came here. The one we were seeing over here, this is a utility token. So the reason why probably the price of ICP or something because get picture as we to convince someone to invest on that particular token. And the good thing about you as a developer is you can say okay, I don't know why I'm going back here, but when you check out all tokens, you'll always see over here that there's always a market cap, and there's always the circulation supply, and there's always the total supply. So you as a developer, let me just focus here. So you as a developer, you have the right to say maybe my tokens, I'm gonna create it, but it's gonna, like ICP here, I see it's 513, I think, 1,711,030. So that's probably the total supply, or maybe if I'm not sure, but all tokens have a certain amount you can always specify. So let me close this. Yeah, you can always specify. So ICP, the reason why ICP is unique currently is it's a utility token. And for it being a utility token, it's used it's used uh it's used in various ways. The first way it's used is it's used as a governance token. When we're always doing our sessions with NNS and the like, we always showed you guys how to stake on NNS and how to vote on NNS. So ICP, first of all, is a utility token because it is a governance token in a way. You can participate in governance of the internet computer by staking ICP and vote or submit rewards. Secondly, ICP can be transformed into here. ICP can be transformed into cycles and pay for internet computer resources. Now this comes back to us developers, where we were saying that for the reverse gas fee model, whereby for your DApp to run online, it's us who get to pay for these services. So we also have to look in a way that we get to gain. So since you're the one who is paying for these particular services and not the users, the billion users who are gonna be logging in your DApp, then sorry, then maybe your canister smart contract on NNS, you're gonna always see how to pay this through cycles and the rest. So thirdly, ICP is a utility token because now this comes to the big fish. But any one of you here can be a big fish. So ICP tokens are used to remunerate node providers who operate node machines running on the internet computer protocol. So this is for when we're talking about, when you're always doing the introduction to internet computer, we always talk about nodes. There's a data center somewhere, and there's nodes and there's node providers. So it's just the same way as the way those who mine different tokens, even Bitcoin, those who mine Bitcoin, they get rewarded. So for you to have that particular machine, store it in this particular place, you've made sure you've paid for electricity, or maybe you're not paying for electricity. For you to just be a node provider, you also get to be rewarded um ICP tokens. So for those who are mining, who are now node providers and they're mining ICP currently, they get to be awarded ICP tokens. And then last but not least, ICP can be used to participate in token swaps of DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations on the internet computer. So these four protocols elaborate how ICP is a utility token, because by the name utility, that means it's utility is basically using. So we get to use ICP first of all by participating on the governance of internet computer. We get to use it by paying for internet computer resources. We get to use it by, if you're a node provider, you get rewarded, and you also get to, you can do token swaps and the rest. So it's a utility token. So that's just for internet computer. For other tokens, it's always based on you, how you call the shots, how you want it to be. Anyone can create their own token. Most tokens that I've seen people come up with, probably they usually deploy it on the on the Ethereum network. So when you're a blockchain developer, mostly you'll always see that most people will range on the Ethereum side. But now for the internet computer, we want to have tokens. That's why this topic came about, because we want you guys to also start seeing how you can create your own stable coins on internet computer blockchain, because it's a blockchain on its own, just the same way as Ethereum and Bitcoin. And the good thing about this building on internet computer and creating tokens is now we can be able to create canister smart contracts on Bitcoin. So that means we can be able to create Bitcoin tokens. And that's actually a game changer, because you never know, you who created that particular token, once you get the investors and everything, you never know how far it can take you. So I'm not gonna go more deeper into this tokenomics, but at least I've given you an overview of how of how of how internet computer as a token is a utility token. So more info is just here on this particular site. So now let's go back to now our coding part. Yeah, so we have Bitfinity, which actually emerged late last year. So I'm gonna just go to the documentation. Yeah, we have Bitfinity. So Bitfinity is a blazingly fast, I guess 1,000 transaction per second, next generation EVM. EVM is basically an Ethereum virtual machine serving as a layer 2 for Bitcoin and other Bitcoin on-chain assets. With Bitfinity, you'll be able to deploy smart contracts for Bitcoin, ordinals, BRC20, all written in Solidity. Bitfinity is built on the internet computer. So the aim of Bitfinity, as much as you're building on the Ethereum virtual machine, you're building on the Ethereum network, the whole goal is to come up with these Solidity smart contracts, where we're gonna build smart contracts for Bitcoin. Yeah, so basically, I guess since Bitcoin is a whole layer 1 blockchain, we're now building the second generation of smart contracts on Bitcoin, which are now, that's why we call them layer 2 solutions. I guess let me read this. Bitfinity instead uses a threshold cryptographic scheme called chain key to create a secure decentralized bridge between Bitfinity and the Bitcoin blockchain. So it might seem a bit technical, but when you always do the introduction section, we always tell you about chain key and how chain key is unique on the internet, in the internet computer. So when you're building with Bitfinity, first of all, we'll be using some of the wallets, and just go. Some of the wallets that we are gonna be using is, for example, we're gonna be using. I have MetaMask installed, so maybe on your end, if you can, but don't worry, it's still gonna follow through. You can have MetaMask installed. Alternatively, you can still have the Bitfinity wallet. So Bitfinity has a wallet on its own. As you can see here, mine has like, I think it has 0.0002 CK BTC testnet. So we are gonna see all about that, but today we are not even building CKBTC today. Yeah, and then you're also gonna need, I guess, you can also get a plug wallet. The plug wallet is basically for the internet computer. So the three of these wallets, you just install them here and manage extensions, and then you'll just get them and then create your own account. So so the EVM is currently available, and it has the testnet and it has the mainnet. So today we're gonna be dealing with the testnet mostly. So like I said, Bitfinity is a bit new, so they're still doing upgrades. That's why today's session we're just gonna do a rough side of Bitfinity, our Solidity, and then next week we're gonna jump to Motoko now, because building tokens with Motoko or Rust is a bit easier sometimes than here on Bitfinity, because it's new, it's still being updated. But so far so good. You can still do 1 2 1 2 based on if you're probably experienced with a bit of Solidity. Like I heard some of you guys are Solidity auditors. You check if the Solidity code is clean and if the security features are okay, and you approve it. And I think some people do that as a way of freelancing, and they get rewarded. So so don't mind about this, but just know that in the EVM you have the testnet and you have the mainnet. It's the same way when you are building canisters with all other languages, there's always the local and there's always the mainnet. So let's go. So have a MetaMask wallet installed. So how you get to install your particular MetaMask, like I said, can just check this documentation over here. Let me just click it directly. So maybe if you can just link up to it. If you don't have your MetaMask wallet, you can just install it right there. But there's a particular testnet that you will need to fill. So here is my MetaMask wallet. Let me just click it for the sake of most of you guys. It's your first time. So let me see. Let me check. I think it's on settings, and then it's on networks. So what we'll need you guys to do is once you have your MetaMask wallet installed, yeah, all this is okay. Once you have it installed, you'll just come here and add network, and then you'll just fill in your details over here. See these details that you're filling, like here, there's the network name, let's say Bitfinity testnet. I think mine, I just named it Bitfinity, so I'll just do Bitfinity testnet. And then here under new RPC URL, you'll just put this. So let me just put I think mine is it's already put, I've already put it, but let me just put it for the sake of it's a first time for everyone. Yeah, so have that, and then chain ID. The chain ID is this particular number. So let me just put it. Yeah, and then there's the current symbol for Bitfinity, which represents Bitfinity. It's I'm just gonna put BFT, and then Block Explorer, which is also optional, but I'll just put it here, and voila, and save. So if you have this already saved, that means you're already on the Bitfinity testnet network. So since we're dealing with tokens today, we're going to deploy an ERC token, ERC20 token. ERC20 token is basically now all these tokens that most of them that are listed on the like on the coin market cap and all these trading platforms and all. So we're gonna deploy it, but today we're not gonna use Remix. I'm saying we're not gonna use Remix because okay, based on my survey, most people have had issues with Remix. So today we're gonna use Hard Hat. Also you can get to use Truffle, but it's also still being updated. So we're gonna use Hard Hat for but basically what you need to know about this Remix and Hard Hat, these are just basically environments where we get to deploy our Solidity smart contracts. So, but before that, there's also a Bitfinity testnet where you get to mint your tokens. I think mine have not opened it. So once you have this and you've clicked save, when you click your MetaMask wallet over here, you're gonna see like mine, I think it's gonna already show because I already prepped. So mine have like this, have like to 10. But now when you click this particular test net, I think the test net is here. So when you're on the test net, you can mint test net tokens. So we are minting test net tokens. The test net tokens are basically the tokens that we're gonna be using just to deploy our particular smart contract. So it's like we're getting fake money. We're getting fake tokens just to use for this particular project. But you can do them using number of ways, using Discord, web interface, JSON RPC. But the most common way is this one. The one I wanted to open. You can use this just this link over here, the faucet interface, which is bitfinity.network /faucet. So when I'm here, as long as I have my MetaMask wallet installed, I'll just click here. I'll just click mint tokens. Hopefully it's gonna mint. And as you can see, my tokens over there were like, see, it tells me tokens successfully minted. So my tokens over here, okay, I had already started minting. So mine here were like, I think they were like 210, but now they've increased to 220. So you can just basically keep on clicking here based on how you want. You can also, there are also different tokens that have been listed over here that exist on the internet computer, but all these are just on the test net. You can also mint them, but for us, we just need a few of these testnet tokens. So this is how you get to do it. For other blockchains, it's always one and the same thing. You just paste the address, but at least for Bitfinity here, they've saved us the hassle of, okay, the most common way we always know is let's say like other blockchains like the Celo and even the Ethereum, when you're using Sequoia network and all those Ethereum networks, testnet networks like Goril and the rest, it's always, even for Bitcoin, if you're getting Bitcoin testnet tokens, they always require that you just you put the particular, you copy this address and then you paste it and then it's gonna send you. But for Bitfinity, at least it's easy. You just click this and you're gonna see down there tokens successfully minted. If it doesn't mint successfully, it will tell you, it will just show you an error down there. So far so good. That's what you need to do so far. Just install the MetaMask wallet and then set up your network to be on the Bitfinity network over here. Like the way you see, we just follow the documentation. Here on the MetaMask, we set up our particular network details, and then now we just minted our fake testnet tokens. So our testnet tokens, we're gonna call, they're called BFT. Yeah, you can even name them the way you want, but so today we're just gonna do BFT. But now let's see how it's gonna relate to Solidity. So now that we're done with testnet tokens, we're now dealing with the environments on how to get to deploy. So tokens are just like the same way we've just been doing all our sessions. Once you come up with a code on a smart contract, there's always a deploying somewhere. So you either deploy on the testnet or on the mainnet. So just also here under Solidity, there's always a deployment somewhere. So there's this MetaMask, which actually looks like this. I don't know, or Remix, I mean, sorry. There's this Remix IDE. Let me see if mine can open. Okay, let me just, yeah. There's this Remix IDE that most developers always use it. Actually, most people always prefer it. So Remix is just an environment that you can get to deploy your Solidity smart contracts. As you can see here on this photo over here, they are just like .sol. But let me also open mine. I hope, yeah. So this is just basically an environment whereby you can get to interact with different Solidity smart contracts. How you get to do it, you'll just create your file, maybe something .sol, and then come up with this Solidity smart contract code, and yeah, and you're good, and you're good to go. And also you'll get to first, of course, like I said, there's always a deployment somewhere. But now for Solidity, you will always have to compile before you deploy. Compile first your Solidity smart contract. Compiling it is basically just like running it through to confirm, because when you're here on the Remix IDE, it gets to do all the work. Your work is just to click. Like, for example, this is honor.sol. I click it, it compiles, and then now for the deployment is now where it matters, because you might be deploying on using MetaMask, or you might be deploying using maybe the particular blockchain that is maybe associated with Ethereum. Maybe it's a layer 2 type of blockchain. Maybe you're deploying on Optimism, on all those all the other blockchain. Like the common one, I guess, that I've used, I guess, is Celo. But for Celo, I think they always have like this their own compiler and their own deployment interface. But other blockchains, you can always use if you're using MetaMask, you'll always have to select here injected MetaMask. So today we're not gonna deploy with this remix, but basically what you need to know about this remix, it just does the same thing as Hard Hat and Truffle. I think Truffle was listed over here. I think it was removed because we encountered some issues, and you see, like I told you, Bitfinity is a bit new, so it's more of we report to them that there's an issue we are seeing with developers, we have to report and gets updated. So for those who are familiar with Truffle, don't worry. We're gonna have you covered one or another. So we're gonna be using Hard Hat, but before we use Hard Hat, we need to have our particular code. So Hard Hat is basically so I'm not gonna come to Remix for now. Let's just square it off, because personally when I used it, it had a bit of errors, but you're still always gonna fix it. So Hard Hat is basically it's a development environment for Ethereum softwares. It consists of different components for editing, compiling, debugging, and deploying your smart contracts and dApps, all of which work together to create a development environment. So it's just like Remix. So how you get to have Hard Hat in your particular, let me just paste this in case maybe someone is following through. But how you get to install Hard Hat, there's the installation requirements there on how you need to have it installed. And let's see if we can create a default project on Hard Hat. So let me open my IDE, and then yeah, so let me just create a folder. Maybe we say, let's call it token. Let me just call it token, and then sit into it. So for example, I think if I want to have my particular file have Hard Hat in it, I'll just run this command. So you'll just follow the documentation. You just see to create a sample project, run this command, npx Hard Hat, npx add Hard init. I think it's gonna do the whole this and give us something that looks like this. Yeah, so it's gonna ask you if you're using JavaScript or TypeScript. Yeah, so most of these environments, it's you're the one who's calling the shots. For it just creates for you the whole Hard Hat environment. So this is now where we're gonna input our particular Solidity code, and then see how we're gonna deploy it. Yeah, so for our Solidity code, as this one is still creating, it's the Hard Hat project. For Solidity code, most people use this Open Zeppelin. So most people use this open sorry, let me just refresh it. Most people use this Open Zeppelin. Let me also just paste it in case. So Open Zeppelin is basically a library for Solidity smart contracts. So if you're dealing with with Solidity, most of you guys are at least familiar with Solidity. Open Zeppelin is actually a booster. You can create ERC20 tokens, which are the ones where we are creating like today. The ERC20 tokens are just like I forgot the name of ERC20 in full, but ERC20 is basically the coins. The ERC721, this represents NFTs. ERC1155, I forgot what that was, but it's just basically also a token. You can also create your own governor token, and you can also create your own custom token. So basically we're using this place because it also has an AI, I can see. We're using Open Zeppelin to generate our Solidity smart contract because it's a bit easy. It's a bit easy and direct, and then it's gonna save us the hassle of creating a whole, because Open Zeppelin on its own is a library. So for example, let's just create our own. Okay, first of all, let me check out our hard hat project. Yeah, so our hard hat project has created successfully. Let me see if we can open it with VS Code and see how it looks like. So yeah, so this is how our hard hat project looks like. Like I said, hard hat, since it's an environment on its own, it will even create for you the particular folder on how it wants it folder to have. So you're always gonna see the first, maybe the first file over here. The first folder is contracts, and then there's lock.sol. So .sol represents .solidity. So that's, it even has a default solidity code over here. I guess the lock yeah, lock tokens or something. And then there's also a scripts folder which it has a deployed.js. Here it's always a bit critical because how you define it will also matter how it gets deployed. There's also a test folder which has a lock.js uh, default code. Here you'll also get to just customize it based on your use. Of course, there's a .gitignore file, and then there's here, now this is where everything lies on the hardhat.config.js file. So like in our previous session there, we were always saying the effects is everything. For Solidity, if you're using hardhat per se, if you're using Remix, you'll not have to go through all this hassle and everything. But if you're using Truffle, there's always also the truffle.config.js file where you get to implement. So this is now where we're gonna define how Bitfinity is gonna be working, coming through for us. And then of course there's a package.json, lock.json and package.json file. And the rest, of course, the README will just tell you this project, this project demonstrates a hard hat use case. It comes with a sample smart contract and of course a test for that. If we were to deploy it, we'll just basically run these particular commands. But today we just wanna deploy our smart contract on Bitfinity. So yeah, so let's do that. Let's do that. So allow me to close this default project, but we're still opening one of ours that looks like this. That's on the Bitfinity token, but I just want to show you guys how to create a default Solidity smart contract. So assume here, this is just an interface where we'll just get to choose how our particular smart contract looks like. Let me close this first. Yeah. Yes. So let me close that first, and then yeah. So we're gonna, instead of calling our token what people voted and and the likes, we're gonna people voted for Jabak and Zakayo, but personally speaking, the names are a bit funny because the Zakayo token comes from a political aspect. The Jaba is if you're not in Kenya, it's a drug in Kenya that people use to just choose. So we'll just use the one that's on Bitfinity. So we're gonna name our token watermelon. I think that's a bit mature. It won't create a bit of chaos. And then you're gonna put the symbol of token is gonna be WTM. So it just represents watermelon. Yeah. And then we need to give our particular, so this as it stands, first of all, when you're dealing with Solidity smart contracts, there's always the first thing is the license. The license over here, license identifier. If it doesn't have a license identifier, if you're compiling with if you're using harder truffle, foundry, remix, it's always gonna give you an error. So there's always the license part, and then it tells you the Pragma Solidity, the version. So here we'll just use 0.8.2, and then yeah, and then you're always gonna see an import. It's always importing. You always have to import something somewhere. And then our contract, which represents now this particular token, our contract is or our token is watermelon, and it's an ERC20 token. And basically this is just a coin. So just this code on its own, just this represents that this is a token called watermelon, and it's an ERC20 token, and this is the particular symbol. So when you see, as you can see here, it's just because I've just changed, but maybe if you have a deeper knowledge of Solidity, there's some people who are beasts. They don't have to use these libraries. They'll just go straight. But I'm just using a library because it's a bit easy, I guess, for the learning journey. So let's give this particular token some features. So for example, the first feature I'm gonna give it is I'm gonna make it mintable. So mintable is basically you're just giving people an ability to mint. To mint is basically to let me read for you. So mintable minting okay, I have that particular. Yeah, when a token is mintable, it means that the total supply of the token is not fixed at the time of the deployment, and additional units of the token can be created later on. So if you're creating a particular token and you give it this particular amount, or the particular number, maybe it's 1 billion tokens. When we click here mintable, we're just making it in a way that it's not fixed. That's not the fixed particular number. So another feature we can have for our particular token, let me click this. When you click bannable token holders will be able to destroy their particular tokens. This is actually a very good feature, especially if you're dealing with tokens. Always have to make it bannable. So that means you can permanently remove this particular token you can permanently remove it from circulation. So always make your token bannable, but also it also depends with you as a developer. But the reasons why people enable this feature of maybe my token will be bannable is because of the token supply control. You have to see how the mechanism of the whole supply of your tokens is gonna be. And then also there's the rewarding activities. Some projects use banning as a way to reward certain activities or behaviors. And then there's always the transaction fee. That's where transaction fee comes in, whereby in a decentralized application, banning tokens can be used to reduce transaction fees. So we're giving it a bannable feature. And then another feature probably that we can add. Okay, this one is not really always important. We can make it posable. So let's make our watermelon token posable. So making it posable, basically we are just like the way posable like pose it's a functionality where a token can be temporarily halted or paused by the contract owner or a designated authority. So you can always pause your particular token. People pause tokens for various reasons. For example, for emergency situations, maybe you as a developer discovered a bug and you want to fix it in your smart contract. Also because of security measures, that means probably it's on the market. So and there's chaos and everything that around that. And also for contract upgrades, you can always pose your particular, give it the posable feature. And also for regulatory compliances. Now this is where now the whole regulations board and the likes come in. Yeah. Maybe another feature we can give a particular token. So let's make this token a governance token, because like I said, as much as you're creating these tokens, you have to give them a real just a real okay, the reason why, like, you created a Jabba coin, but is the Jabba coin, is it gonna be a coin where all Jabba people um vote with it? Maybe if they want Jabba not to go to other countries, just remain in Kenya, we vote with Jabba coin. So always have a meaning behind it. I know it's funny, but yeah. And then also, so we're giving it this voting. So I've clicked here on the vote feature. So vote feature basically just represents the governance. It's just this, we're making this watermelon token a governance token where people can have a voting power, and there's also the governance proposals, and also we are also making it more of a DAO. We always insisted that we want you guys to create decentralized autonomous organizations, which are DAOs, just like NNS. So we're just gonna give it this particular feature. So another feature maybe we can give it is let me see, do I give it a permit feature? Because permit is basically used for the Ethereum ecosystem, so I'll not give it a permit feature. But there's also the access control. Who gets to control this particular token? Is it you as a developer? So you can always give roles over here. So you see when I click like ownable, that means any owner can get to own this particular token. So I'm just gonna leave it there at ownable. There's also these other features that I'm not gonna focus on right now. But imagine just by you doing that, you've created a default Solidity smart contract without ease, just by clicking these buttons over here. But so this is just a basic Solidity smart contract for that just represents a particular token, and we just give it different features which can be mintable, can be bannable, posable, or votable. So if maybe you're new to Solidity, always come to Open Zeppelin. At least it's easy for you to learn all this. So I'm gonna just I guess I'll copy it, or let me just copy to clipboard. I'm gonna copy this particular code, and okay, I hope it has copied. If it does not, then we'll see how it does. Yes, I hope it has copied. So okay, I can see we've already clocked 8. So what we need to do here is now we want to deploy it. We go to our testnet tokens, and now we want to deploy it on Bitfinity. So I'm gonna open this folder over here, but this folder is also the one that is featuring on this particular tutorial that we're using, the one that we've sent the link over here. So I'm gonna show you guys how to basically deploy a particular token on, yeah. So I'm gonna open just a default file, just like the hard one. Now I'm gonna open the one that is featured over here. So this is how it looks like. See, we're using hard hat, and yeah, but then of course let me see if we can change this particular code. We give it the yeah, we give it, yeah, we just put this code as the code that instead of it has okay, it's permit doesn't work, so I'm gonna remove the permit feature. Let's see, function nonsense. So let me first remove the feature here on our Open Zeppelin. Yeah, we didn't have a permit feature over here. So let me check it out. Let me check it out again as to why there's an error. Oh, it's because I imported permit. So let me just remove the permit feature, and Yes. Oh, it's because of the version. So it uses, so we're gonna use 0.8.0. So yeah. So let me remove this permit feature, and then let me use the version. Let's just use 0.8.0. You see, sometimes these versions will give you just give you we remove this function on its own. Let's see. Oh, there's even more errors. That's solidity for you. Yeah, so okay, let me just go to the default particular code. You're gonna check out the other one. But the one that's here on this tutorial, that I just want you guys to see, we're just deploying. There's nothing else. We're not doing anything else. Like I said, we're doing Solidity today, and then we're gonna go to now Bitcoin, now real Bitcoin from next week. Because okay, the Definity team wants you guys to focus more on Bitcoin and creating Bitcoin tokens and the rest. So sometimes when you're creating with Solidity, it can be a bit fixed, but it's always good to also just see how you're gonna, because when you're deploying on the Bitfinity EVM, you're still gonna deploying Bitcoin smart contracts that you're gonna create with, yeah, with Solidity. So I'm going to use this default code, but you're going to come back to this particular code that we created over here. No worries. You can even deploy this particular code here with anything else. But I just want you guys to see something. So when you have this is just our watermelon token. It just has one function where it just has one function over here. So when you check out this particular tutorial, there's for it to be easy, you can just be following through the documentations over here. So like here, we're gonna need first of all, let me cd cd into the hard folder. cp erc20. Yeah, I think now we're good. Yeah, so first off, when you're going through this particular documentation for how to deploy with hard hat, it's gonna tell you to clone this particular course repository and all. And then here is where I wanted you guys to note, it's gonna ask you for you to create a .env file. So the .env file, I already have it over here, and as you can see, mine, I already have my private key over here. But then this private key doesn't come automatically. This private key comes when you click here under MetaMask, the MetaMask wallet that you installed, and then yeah, when I want to check out my private key, I think I'll just come here, and then I'll click on account details, and then I click show private key, and then of course I think I have to put my password, and then you'll click hold to reveal, and then see mine shows my private key over here. So in case you have a problem getting the private key, but don't worry, I've included the screenshots over here step by step just on this particular tutorial on where to get your particular private key. So I'm just using this MetaMask wallet. So this MetaMask wallet that you're using for this particular project, just use it for testing. Don't use it for holding real tokens, because okay, personally I've been washed using MetaMask. This particular wallet has been washed. I think it got hacked. That was like 2 years ago. Got hacked. It had some Ethereum over there. So if you're doing this particular projects and you're using MetaMask, the account that you create over here, just don't use them as real accounts where you'll get to input real like real tokens like Ethereum and the rest. I think mine they stole some some Ethereum, we followed up, but yeah, so just do it for the sake of just doing this particular tutorial. Yeah, so I've put my private key over there, and then what I need to do, I just need to run this particular command. We're just running one command. Our time is up. So we want to so if you want to deploy with Bitfinity, first of all, now the most important thing. Now this is where even most of you guys who are doing hackathons uh actually fell short. Since we're using .env, which we have our .env file here, we put our private key. When you check out this hadat.config.js file, this is actually where everything dwells in. So you're gonna see that of course there's we're using the private key, and then here this is where you get to define your network. So we're using the testnet, Bitfinity testnet. Here's the URL, is the accounts, and then here's the chain ID, and it's just a local test net that you're using. So most of you guys are not able to deploy your Solidity smart contracts because when you're hard at the config.js file, you just put like, you didn't define the network as Bitfinity testnet and give the chain ID and all these features. So if you don't have any of this, it's not even gonna deploy on Bitfinity testnet, because when you check out the default hard hat project that we had created initially, you'll have to customize this particular thingy. You have to customize this particular file and just make sure that your network is on the Bitfinity testnet. So since ours is already set up, to deploy it, I think we're just gonna run this one command that has been listed. So we're just gonna do let me just copy paste it. Alternatively, I can do yarn, because it has yarn package manager. I can do yarn hardat, run script, deploy this, but also make deploy network testnet Bitfinity still does one and the same thing. So let me see if ours is gonna deploy. Yes, I hope it's gonna. Yes, so it's gonna show you something like this. And of course, first of all, for you to deploy it, the reason why I have inputted my private key over here is because now this particular smart contract recognizes my MetaMask wallet. You see here, it tells me account balance is 249 something something, and then when I check my MetaMask wallet, the balance over here is, I think it's 250, but here it shows me that my balance is let me come back to my balance here is the account balance is this 249 or something, which just represents that. So just make sure your particular MetaMask wallet has the fake tokens, and yeah, and then input your private key. How you get your private key, it's also listed here on the particular tutorial. And Solidity smart contract, it's just a default code that we deployed over here. Because of time, I'm gonna deploy this one that we created with Open Zeppelin. I'm gonna deploy it and then we're gonna share it with you guys. But because of time, we just use this default one. But this is how you actually deploy. Now this is now after. Okay, let me see deploy. See if I can export it. Yes, just copy it. So this particular address that has been deployed, I think I'll have to input it. Yeah, export token address. So as you can see here, Watermelon deployed to this particular address. So I want to just export it down here. Yes, as it deployed to that. And on top of this, there are some particular tasks that have been created on this particular folder. So this folder has been customized in a way that when you're dealing with tokens, there's always these 4 tasks. There's an account somewhere, there's approve the balance or something somewhere, there's the balance, there's the total supply, transfer this and this. So now for you, let's say your homework is now to continue from here where I left. Once you have deployed your particular token, there are particular tasks that have been written over here, the hard hat tasks. So the hard hat tasks represent, like, for example, it's just gonna explain to you, like, for example, the first one here is account.js. So account.js basically just represents a particular account. If I do this, if I run this command over here, I'll just be checking the balance that I have. But now it represents Ethereum, so it's a bit confusing. Let me see if it's gonna give me that. So I'm gonna use this particular address that has been deployed over here. So now your task is, yeah, from what you have learned, at least get to see how you can interact with it. Okay, like me, if I run this command for npx hard balance, you're just requesting to see for the ETH balance. You see here under account.js, it shows ETH. Even if I named this BFT, I think it will just do one and the same thing. Yeah, I think it will be BFT or something. So it tells me 08 or 0 BFT. Yeah. So for you guys is to check out these hard hat tasks. So at least it will make you read more about hard hat and how you get to deploy it. But today we've been able to successfully deploy ours just by running one particular command. We haven't focused more on the code, but we're gonna do more of that. We haven't focused more on that because if you're coding, it's gonna take, we need like at least 3 hours of coding sessions. At least I showed you guys an overview of, if you just want to create a default Solidity smart contract, like this one, I can open it with Remix and get to deploy it. But yeah, at least you've learned something today, how to create a Solidity smart contract, and also how to deploy with Bitfinity in particular if you're using Hard Hat. So because of time, this marks the end of our session. It's gonna get a bit critical now from here because we're gonna be swapping you guys. So tomorrow we're not tomorrow, sorry. Okay, I wish there was tomorrow. Okay, next week we're gonna do tokens, but now we're gonna do tokens using the different languages that we have, like creating tokens. Like now we're gonna focus on Bitcoin. The whole token system, if you're using Motoko and Rust, is basically Bitcoin. For Solidity as well, now you can always come up with Ethereum layer 2 dApps. But now from next week you're gonna deal with Bitcoin tokens. In particular, we're gonna see how we can get fake cycles and see how we are gonna, like, here as you can see there's a 0.002 CK test BTC. So we're gonna see how we're gonna get our fake Bitcoin, and yeah, see how we can create these particular smart contracts to work for us, because the whole point of these sessions are, like you said, the Dfinity team wants you guys to dwell more on tokens because we don't have tokens on the internet computer blockchain. And yeah, I think they're more investable currently. And yeah, you never know, can always create your own meme coin or the likes. So please give feedback on this session. I know I've jumped on some steps, but at least I've tried to tackle the most critical issues. But yeah, at least we deployed a smart contract. And also we, at least even if you haven't understood anything, at least just have this MetaMask wallet installed, and then just get these fake testnet tokens just by minting them. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you guys for attending. Yeah, so see you on the next one. Maybe you can tell us if you want us next week to continue with Solidity or to go to Motoko, on all the Rust or the other languages, and see how we can create tokens with them and deploy with them. But for them, for the other languages, we won't be using MetaMask wallet or Bitfinity wallet. We'll be just doing the way we've been doing our basic smart contracts and deploying them locally on the CLI. Yeah, maybe I can read on the chats. If you have any question, I would like you could include the concept of DAO in detail. Okay. Sarah says Motoko. Okay, so we're just gonna see how you guys are gonna be familiar with. For now, let's just work with this. If you guys have digested this and you're able to deploy to reach this phase over here, at least now we'll be able to know we can go to the next step, or we have to come back to Solidity, because Solidity is very wide. It's very wide, but at least you knew how to create a Solidity smart contract with Open Zeppelin just by coming here and just clicking these particular features. Yeah, so thank you. And yeah, who has a question or how to link DApp to tokens? Yeah, that's now actually a bit critical. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that with Motoko and Rust. It's a bit easy to link a DApp with tokens. That's where now we're gonna get the fake like we're gonna be building more on Bitcoin and the rest. Okay, Francis, yeah, we're gonna send the recording. Yeah, so let me stop sharing, guys. I'm gonna share the whole of this material documentation. It's gonna be included here on this file over here. So in case you have an issue, just check out this documentation, or alternatively, you're still gonna share on the group. Yeah, so thank you. Maybe Steve, if you have anything, you can close. Okay, Mustafa Musa. Musa
Yes.
Musa.
Yes. Good evening. I have a question about the tokens. Can we like integrate? Is it like the token only for financial application, or you can integrate the tokens in applications that are not even using finance?
You don't have to focus on decentralized finance. You can always link tokens to any type of DApp you're relating to. Like I said, see, tokens are different. You can always like tokens you can create. Okay, I don't know who did this is trying to be an artist, but there's always there's a utility token, there's a security token, you can create a token based on your DApp. Maybe you're saying you create something that people will just be using this particular token if you're dealing with this with my particular DApp. Yeah. Can you send the how do you determine the value? The value is determined by you. Okay, now there it depends with what you're building, Francis. If determining, like for example, if you're creating a meme coin, like I said, create the meme coin. You can even create a meme coin with this simple solid Open Zeppelin smart contract. But once it's deployed, you know, you need like a huge fan base maybe of people who will pay to look as if your coin is people are buying and selling, people are buying and selling. That's how whole cryptocurrency is like. Yeah. So see you on the next one. Maybe from next week, Steve is gonna be chatting with you guys about Motoko or me, yeah. Or maybe anyone else. You never know. Never know. You never know. We can always holler any of you to do a session if you feel you're good at it. Okay, so Steve, do you have anything else to say?
No, just to thank all of you for making time to join in the session. We will send the recording, if not by today evening, by tomorrow morning. The other thing is for this particular year, we've only had 3 sessions. So we recorded the first session and sent the link. For those that are asking for the link, we'll resend it again to the recording of the first session. But last week's sessions, last week's session, that is, we were not able to record it because of some few technical glitches. But today's session, we will send it before today ends or by tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I hope you guys found the session informative, and now you can build tokens on top of internet computer. Yeah, I'm seeing Mary is in the call. I think she can maybe say one or two things if she has. But before she does,
Steve, thank you. I have
yeah.
nothing to say.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mary. Yes, Joe, you've raised your hand. Do you have a question?
Yeah, mine is just a request. I don't know if it is on my end, but Zoom, I find Zoom a bit inanyonya data sana. Like sometimes it's loading. I don't know if it's my network. So maybe we can find an alternative to it so that when we to the comrades.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we'll try. But the reason we normally use Zoom is because it allows us to record the sessions. Yeah. Without having like a background noise for the person who's recording the sessions. Like it records the session internally. So we wouldn't have like any distractions. Yeah, but we will think we'll brainstorm about it and yeah, get back to you. Okay. Any other question or concern or query? I will take that as a no. Thank you, guys. Tevin, anything else to say before I close the meeting?